Good morning, y'all. As I stated in my last video, my true passion to be able to teach people, to enlighten them. I might not be the best realtor for you. We might not gel. That's okay. But I truly like to educate people, even if you don't go with me. So I have some things I'd like to show you about what you need to do when you're interviewing a realtor, what questions you need to ask. One of them is, are you from here? How long have you lived in the area? Are you familiar with the area? How long have you been in real estate? One of the things I wish people ask more is, how many properties have you bought and sold personally? Have you been in the middle of a transaction? Do you know what that feels like? So ask them, how long have you been in the area? How long have you been in real estate? Have you bought and sold properties personally yourself? The other thing is, how many transactions have you sold? How many do you typically sell in a year? So find out what their experience is. Are they an individual agent? Are they on a team? If they're on a team, that usually is an indication that they have great support. You need support. You need to be able to ask questions, because sometimes most transactions are always different. And if they don't have support, it can take a long time to be able to get a question and to get a different strategy and something to think outside the box. So always ask questions. I can't answer the question that isn't asked. So I am an open book. I live and die by this phone. Another big thing for me that people need to ask is, how long does it take you to reply to me? I take pride on replying back to you as soon as possible. I don't want you waiting. If I don't reply instantly, have face-to-face with another client. I'm giving them my full attention, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But I take pride on messaging my clients and calling them back very quickly. The other thing is, how will you market my property? Are they doing any social media ads, Google ads? How are they marketing it besides just throwing it up on the MLS? And the other thing is, if your agent takes the photo themselves, I mean, hopefully if they do that, they're a badass photographer. But I'll be hiring professional photography. I can barely take a selfie of myself. So they need to be able to put some skin in the game. They need to be able to market your property the best as possible. Also, the other thing is, how do you handle multiple offers? We're not seeing that so much right now in this market, yes and no. But they need to be able to explain to you the different offers and be able to put them, side by side so you can see everything. Sometimes it's not always about price. It can be about dates, timelines, different little nuances. They could be all the same price, but one of them could do a different type of financing. Something could have a financing contingency waiver. What's the option period? Things like that. So they need to be able to tell you what the different offers are and explain it in very clear terms for you. The other thing I see is, do you know when properties hit the market before they hit the market? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And that is about forming relationships with other realtors in town, because a lot of times properties are going to come for sale, but the seller's just not ready to put it on. Maybe they're moving, they want to move their stuff out first, or maybe they're doing some repairs, things like that. So yes, working with a realtor that is in tune with the local town and the townspeople, usually you can have some firsthand information. And if you're a seller, I'm going to try to sell your property before we even hit the market. Yeah, you don't get as many views, of course, but the goal is to publicize and sell your property for as high and best possible. The other one is negotiations. I believe and I've come to believe, a lot of agents just don't want to negotiate. I believe everything's for sale, everything's negotiable, and all you can do is say no. I've bought in a lot of properties personally myself by just knocking on the door, just asking, throwing in an offer. And that was even before I was a realtor. But I think a lot of times now people just don't, there's either a fear of rejection, I guess. Say the house is on the market for $500,000 and your buyer thinks it's more $450,000. Throw in an offer at $450,000. It's just a form of get the communication started. That's all it is. I think some people just don't want to do the paperwork. I geek out on the paperwork. I geek out on the nuances and the different ways you can fill it out. It's not fill in the blank. It's strategizing and getting your client the best deal possible. So find somebody that's willing to do that. Of course, sometimes we have to be realistic. If it's on the market for $500,000, chances are they're not going to accept an offer for 150, 200, be a little realistic, people, but just get the conversation started. The other thing is, again, about communication. Do they text? Do they call? Do they email? Are they sending you at the listing appointment? Are they sending you a comparative market analysis? Are they showing you the houses that sold? But also, are they showing you your competition? So you want to see what your competition is, because if you list higher, if you list at 500 for say, and all your competition's at 400, but yet you're almost the identical property, they're just going to go view over the $400,000 houses. They're not even going to view yours. Just pushing the competition over there. So, how are they showing you the data? Look at the data. And the other one is, do they have connections? I have connections, and they should too, with trusted lenders, inspectors, contractors. After that negotiation and inspection period, are they asking for repairs? I personally don't like my sellers to do any repairs, and I don't like my buyers to ask the sellers to do any repairs. And do you know why? Because everybody wants to do it as cheap as possible to get it done with. So let's negotiate some concessions. If it's a lender required repair, that's another issue. But let's be realistic here. When a seller is asked to do repairs, it's trying to do it as cheap as possible. But if in the state of Texas, if you're required to have a license like plumbers, chimney people, and electricians, then those licensed people have to do those repairs. The other thing that you need to talk about is a lot of the area, especially in the area we're in. My office right here on Main Street, Bastrop, but I live across the county line in Fayette County. The different nuances to our area, I can't stress enough about knowing the area and being from the area. Please hire a local realtor. It doesn't have to be me. I wish it would be. Doesn't have to be me, but hire somebody that knows the area. Hire somebody that understands the history of our area with the flooding and the fires, be able to explain those things. The Houston toad, the endangered toad, be able to know the areas, and that's very important. And the other one I really wish people understood more is about the working with a local trusted lender. The goal is to get you the best deal possible. Sometimes it's not sales price, it's more the concessions, buy down your interest rate, closing costs, and things like that. So it's really working those nuances and strategizing to get you the best deal possible, and writing that first initial offer as great as we can. But we can't do that without all the information or a lender that's willing to be creative and get the deal done. The other thing is, what are their clients' references? Does the agent have references they'll send you to? How are their reviews, their testimonials? A lot of my clients I still talk to weekly. I tell you when the transaction's over, this isn't the end of the relationship. I geek out on helping my clients and me giving them suggestions. This doesn't end the relationship just because the property's sold. I'm here for the end, till it ends, till you sell it, till you move out of the area, buy another house, whatever, or till you tell me to stop, that I don't need you. Fine. I am here to serve my clients. I am here to make a relationship. It's just not a one and done transaction. My goal is a continuing business forever. The other one is, let's see. What we're seeing right now is low appraisals. Some appraisals coming in lower. How we handle that? Do you know that you can contest the appraisal? Do you know you can do a reconsideration of value? That's very important. Sometimes we don't get it. I didn't get one recently, but I'm going to fight my hardest to get that, and I'm not afraid to go into the fight for my client. And the other thing is, you really just have to communicate. Communicate with me, tell me your wants, your needs, and I'll do the best I can possible to help you. And whoever you hire should be able to do that. They should be able to answer their phone, send you the answers to your questions. And if they don't have those, tell them that. Say, honestly, I don't know that, but I'll find out. So that's really big thing is communication. Because again, I can't answer the questions that you don't ask. And I geek out on real estate. I will talk houses. I will talk residential, farm and ranch, hay, grass all day long. I geek out on educating people, but also I have no qualms about telling you this is not the right house for you or not the right property for you. My father and my grandfather were both finished carpenters, so I have a lot of background in construction. I also flip houses, so I've been there. I know what it does to paint. I know what it's like to lay tile, and sometimes you're like, this isn't worth it, but in the end it is. So I pride myself on being very blunt and very honest with my clients. So I hope that helps you. Please ask questions. Please interview a realtor, and have a good day.